I'm Clay Moffatt, and this is Talk About Scary. Today, we're doing kind of a recap. You may notice that I am once again in my car, and yes, my car, not the nice 2025 rental. It was a sad day. I had to give it back, and I was quite bummed about it, but that's life. So, today we're going to actually be talking about something fun because it's relevant to a video we just released yesterday. So if you're new to the channel, go check that out. If you're not new to the channel, you know what I'm talking about. We released a producer's edit of the ghostly secrets of Hotel San Carlos. Now, the big difference is that we chopped out some of the filler and cut back on some of the things that were maybe negatively received or that we received feedback on that dragged, for example. So we chopped it from about an hour and 25 minutes down to about an hour and 6 minutes. So we got rid of almost 20 minutes worth of garbage, if you will. It was a really fun investigation, and I honestly would have loved it to have been 2 hours or longer. There was a lot of stuff we had to cut, but we do understand that some things aren't as interesting. So we wanted to give a little bit of a fresh perspective for a new audience. And if you watched the original, go check this one out because it zips right along. It just talks about what we encountered. And I still stand by this, that was the scariest hotel I have ever been in, which brings us to our topic. Today, we're going to revisit Flagstaff's own Monte Vista. Adam and Shalina are out of town doing some really cool stuff. Well, mostly vacationing, but they're also doing some stuff for the YouTube channel. So that's fun. That's exciting. I look forward to hearing and seeing everything that they got to do while they were there. But we haven't really talked about Monte Vista for a while. I know we've had like 3 or 4 episodes about it, but since we've experienced a much scarier hotel, we haven't gone back to revisit how we felt about the Monte Vista. So without further ado, I'm going to give my opinions. I'd love to have Adam, since he was also there, give his opinions. Maybe I can convince him to do that in a solo episode, or maybe we can tag team and do a really lengthy, boring, long episode, because I know you guys love those. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't love those either. But yeah, so let's pull this up real quick. All right. Yeah. I don't think that place is haunted. I'm just going to come right out and say that. We had a couple of questionable things happen, but nothing compared to what happened to us at San Carlos, for example. So hearing noises, temperature changes, things like that, they just happen at every hotel. Every haunted place has something like that. And it's boring, to be honest. When something happens everywhere, can you really say that it's unique? No, you in fact cannot say that. So that's what I really liked about San Carlos, was some of the things we experienced were only being seen at the Hotel San Carlos. Now, they both had a very similar kind of backstory, with the prostitutes getting thrown out the window, murdered, and everything, and then the woman at San Carlos jumping off of the roof to kill herself. So they both have sort of like a hauntingly tragic backstory that they were able to build upon. But one of the things that happened at I'm getting all the names mixed up, at Hotel Monte Vista, was the door opening. And while it was scary, we didn't really get it on camera. And then the more I look back at the footage and remember it, I do think that, that can happen when like the air conditioning kicks on or the heat kicks on. It can create like a suction from the doors. And it was such a, like, it swiveled open and closed, which we reference in the documentary. Also, I'm starting to sweat. It's apparently summer in Arizona already. I think just a few days ago, we hit our first 90-degree day. That is malarkey. And yes, that is a word I use in regular conversation. Come at me. Anyway, we had the door open. Well, I did. Adam wasn't there, but we talked about it in the special at Hotel San Carlos. The bathroom door actually swiveled open. But the reason I think that that was much more terrifying than Monte Vista, for example, is it opened in such a way that it was really difficult to explain. And also, we went on about the AC and airflow and all that stuff because we were trying to figure out what was going on with the temperature changes. And that door never did that. That was the only time that happened. And it was latched. So that's confusing. I don't really understand that. The doorway into the hotel was latched and it didn't open. It was just the bathroom. So I felt very much like I was being watched, which is why I quickly went to go get out of the room and find Adam and that whole thing. But the thing with Monte Vista is, like, I really wish we had gotten it on camera so that we could go back and look at it. But like I said, the more I think about it, the more normal explanation I think you can come up with for what was going on with the door. Now, we had an incident happen in the middle of the night. Check back to the documentary if you don't know what I'm talking about. But in the middle of the night, we left some cameras running, just kind of placed facing us while we slept, just to see if anything would happen. The story there is, like, the prostitute ghosts will sometimes, like, I don't know, try to be sexual with men who stay in that room. Neither one of us felt anything like that, so I don't know how I feel about that. But nothing happened except for we did have what sounded like a knocking on the door or something like that. But that could have been the room next door. I mean, you've stayed at a hotel. You know that sometimes those walls are thin and you can hear the people walking above you. You can hear banging on the door next to you. You can hear if people are being too loud. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, there's just a million ways to explain that versus some of the things like the noises we heard in the conference room, for example, at Hotel San Carlos. But we did experience other noises while we were at Monte Vista, which leads me to kind of believe that that's probably all that was. I mean, Flagstaff's not really a party town, but I don't really know what you do in Flagstaff in the middle of the night other than coming home from the bar or something like that. There's not a whole lot to do other than drink, party, hang out, stuff like that. So who knows why someone would be up at that hour, but it's not unheard of. And that's what I think the answer is. And there's just a whole lot of other things. Like, pretty much, I hate to, like, bash on our work, but I feel like everything that happened to us while we were at Monte Vista can be explained away. Now, in the moment, obviously things are a little bit more chaotic and you get the adrenaline pumping and you're not necessarily thinking rationally. And that happened at Hotel San Carlos. But now that I've had time to reflect and look back at the footage and think about it more, there's just a lot at Hotel San Carlos that I don't have a good explanation for. Whereas Monte Vista feels very much like a tourist trap. It can all be explained away. You just get your guests to think they're staying at a haunted hotel, and all of a sudden you're going to hear a bunch of noise. You're going to see a bunch of things. You're going to second guess actions and everything around you. And I don't blame them. I mean, it was a fun stay and I would do it again, but I didn't think that it was haunted when we stayed. And I don't think that it's haunted today, almost 4 years later. So that's my opinions about that. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the video and the channel. I said that oddly, but you know what I mean. Stay up to date with us. We have a lot of stuff coming down the Super Mario pipe that you do not want to miss. Check out all of our other ghost hunting videos. And as always, creep it real. I am not kidding. It is hot in here. My iPad is going to explode again.